Ed here, Infospot 411 YouTube channel. Okay, I'm changing things up a little bit. Let me move my camera around here. I'm in a different part of my basement. There we go. I've been mostly doing a late night show, which I will primarily do on my channel, the late night show. I'm more of a I'm up late, but once in a while, I will be doing a morning show, and I've had a number of people request, hey, you're always on so late at night. I miss your show. Would you do a morning show or an afternoon show? So here I am. It's the weekend. It's Sunday morning. Here we go, the morning show. Oh, welcome, Nate Dogg. I'm changing things up just a little bit. I will be doing a morning show from time to time. With this past week and my work schedule, this is what worked out best for me. I didn't even get home till about like 8 o'clock last night. And, it was just too much rush to do a late night show. So I say, why not do a morning show for a change? A lot of people aren't up at the 11:30 when I was doing my late show. So from time to time, I will be doing a morning show. Yes. See, this decision was made like at 8 o'clock last night. And another problem is YouTube has that feature. You could put out a post on your channel, like a notification post, it'll be like a picture. And I could put out the morning show and my topics, which I have in my description and the time it is. But unfortunately, you got to have 1,000 subscribers. So I'm not too far off from getting that feature on my YouTube channel where it only take me like 10 minutes to put together a quick post. But I had a lot of stuff going on last night, so I wasn't able to do like a channel news update. But at any rate, yeah, I'm going to get into doing some morning shows once in a while. Mostly I'll be doing a late show for people to, come in and see my live and take part in it. I've had quite a few people, that I know comment to me and say, hey, I really enjoyed watching your live, but unfortunately I'm in bed at 11:30 at night. Any rate, as I have in my description, I'm going to go over a few things with my intro here. And the topic for today's show, I'm going to touch on politics just a little bit, but I'm not going to get into Obama and Trump and all that stuff. There's enough of that in the news and the newspapers. I mean, the news media and the papers. Any rate, we'll have some fun topics. Well, thank you for joining. Electric cars. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of electric cars. I'm sure you've all been bothered by this, the robo-calls. I'm going to talk a little bit about my experiences with these stinking robocalls, and as well as I got a news article from last January I just read about a law that happened here in America under our president and our Congress addressing the issue of these robocalls. And this is something I'm sure everybody's going to relate to if you got a cell phone, are these stinking robocalls. Wow, this one we're going to really get into. Hey, thanks, PB the Cool. Thanks for coming. I'm going over the stuff for the show here. I got it in my description box. Another topic I'm going to get into from the New York Post. It's a newspaper. They got a study, and it's about the United States being ranked the second worst country to raise a family and to live. However, we have a problem, Houston, and I'm going to get into it on that one. This is an interesting article here I'm going to talk about. A surge of swingers in New York City amidst the COVID-19. It is something interesting here that's going on. This is one we're going to get, not so much politics on this, it'll be more a little on social issue, but I'm going to give my opinion on it, and then we're going to have a great conversation here about defunding the Minneapolis police department. We all know about the incident with Floyd. Oh, thanks for coming, Micrum. I'm just going over the topics here for the morning show. I'm changing things up a little bit. I'm mostly going to still be doing the late night shows, but from time to time, I'll do a morning show. Yeah, we're going to get into this article about defunding the Minneapolis Police Department. This is on the backlash of the Floyd incident. Now, I'll say this first because social issues can be very touchy, just like religion and politics. Oh, it's afternoon for you. Yeah, over in England. Uh, yeah, we're going to get into that with the article, Micro. I just want to make a, kind of a quick disclaimer is when I will discuss some social issues like this Minneapolis Police Department, and I'm going to get into the study, which has very big glaring bias problems about the U.S. being ranked one of the worst places to raise a family and live, is when I give an opinion. Well, thank you. I appreciate the love too. Love back to you. I just want to get this, just get this out here before we get into the topics. When I give an opinion, doesn't mean I'm right or Nate Dogg or PB the Cool is wrong or vice versa. It's just an opinion. It's a discussion. It's good conversation. So, try not to get any personal anger or get upset, because I'll have a different opinion than you guys will, or I won't get angry or upset if, let's say, Microm has a different opinion on one of the topics we're going to get into, because I stay away from the politics, just like I said with the Obama Trump, but I will talk some social issues, and we're going to get a touch into the politics with a couple of the topics here. And any rate, two other quick things to wrap up the show here. Celebrity endorsements. I'm going to have a little rant about celebrity endorsements. Kind of a fun conversation. And then favorite place to have breakfast. We're going to end it on a fun note. And as well as we'll have general conversation at the end of the show and throughout the show. Unfortunately, I didn't get the time. I don't have a trivia together. I will be doing Guess What, Guess Who trivia, as well as the other one I tried, elimination, in the future. But what I'm going to do for you guys coming in here, I'm going to get a list here. Everyone's here. I'm going to be hooking you up. I'm going to be doing I got to be careful how I say this. I'll be doing a watch party on your channel. Okay. I'll put it that way. I don't want to get, like a self-promotion or a false engagement, but everybody who comes here, I'll be doing some watch. I don't want to say watch time, but I'll hooking you up. I will say I will be doing a watch party on your channel for coming on my live. So that'll be the reward here for sticking and staying with the morning show with me. So I don't have the trivia. So we're just going to be talking some topics, conversation, as well as let's network. If you see someone else in the live chat that you're not friends with, go subscribe to their channel, watch a couple of their videos in full, and drop a like and comment. And I expect a return, drop a gift back. And I will get into my intro, and I'm going to drop some of your channel links here too as well. Let me open up another window here, a couple YouTube windows. So I'll get some of your links in here in just a minute. And as well, hey, moderators, if you see some people in here, drop each other's channels, like PB the Cool. Go through there. You see someone else's channel, put a channel drop in there. So yeah, we will network and help build each other's channel up as well. Okay, let me get into the intro here real quick, and we'll get into some fun topics and as well as interesting topics. And I'm watching this. I have my sunglasses on because I'm down my basement and I got to put on a bunch of lighting here so I can be seen real well. Okay, thanks. I want to start off with this. My last live broadcast, the late night show, it's on my channel, and for some odd reason, maybe it was my internet connection, but I went back to review it and go through my comments. It starts off with me in the middle of the trivia, and the first 15 minutes of the show for some reason got cut off. Maybe it was my internet connection. Oh, thanks, Nate Dogg. Yeah. Drop each other's links, please, and then I'll take a time in between the my show, and I'll be dropping some links as well. So, at any rate, for some odd reason, the first 15 minutes of my live broadcast, that late night show, got cut off. If you watch it, it starts off with me in the trivia. Just a little FYI. Okay, a quick thing is, some of you guys I know are on the Ange TV show. YouTube is very big on spam as well as false engagement. And for quite a while now, a lot of people, oh, thank you for coming. A lot of people have been using the term, which I have, dance, like, hey, I was over at your place doing a dance. It's letting somebody know I was checking out your channel. Come on over and return the favor. We're going to avoid using the word dance. Just say, I'm over at your place doing some cooking, or I'm cooking a meal. I cooked a meal at your place, and someone will respond back. That's the kind of the code word in the term if you type in the chat. So use cook or cooking in the chat, because it hasn't been confirmed, but the rumor from several different sources on live broadcasts is YouTube is treating the word dance now similar to using just the same as like using the word sub or subscribe. So we'll avoid using that word dance. Just use cook or cooking. We'll all understand what's going on. So someone comes in, moderators, and they put come dance with me, or I'm dancing at your channel. Just remove the comment. YouTube will not put out specifically what words are acceptable and what words get flagged as spam, because it's not actually the word itself. Sometimes it's how it's used, but they have an automated system that does it. And all YouTube will do is tell you, any words in the chat that are used in the form of false engagement or spamming, which they deem, then that's when, the live can be flagged. So, and wrapping this up real quick, moderators, if you see someone use the word term dance, just remove the comment. Will be cook or cooking, or a lot of times it's just as simple as say, hey, I'm at your place right now, and someone will respond back, or I'm checking out your place. We all know what that means, but yeah, definitely connect with each other. Okay, let me go over my little intro notes, some stuff here. What else do I got here? Late night show. Oh, one last thing, and then we'll get into the topics. I mentioned my last show here. I have an email address now that's specifically for my YouTube channel. And that is infospot411@yahoo.com. Infospot411@yahoo.com. And so if you guys have a suggestion for a future show, or something you want to tell me in private you didn't want to put in the chat, or you have a question, let me know and just shoot me an email. I will check the email a few times a week and definitely get back with you. And if you got a suggestion or question for the show, I'll even respond back to you. And if I use it in the show, if you don't mind it, I'll definitely plug your YouTube channel. Say, hey, I got a question here from PB the Cool, or I had a suggestion from PB the Cool to talk about such and such. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, before I get to my first topic, electric cars, I just want to do a quick thing here. I printed the sheet up this time. I don't know how well you can see this. Let me bring this in. At any rate, on my YouTube channel homepage, you'll see the Infospot 401. There'll be a tab right here. Click this tab, channels. Okay. And some of you guys already know what I'm talking about. You're going to see these little round icons. These are the people's different YouTube channels. You want to get some subscribers and build up your channel. There's a number of ways, and this is one great way right here. I'm at like 800 some subscribers to my channel, okay? These are the people that are genuine YouTubers. That you watch one or two of their videos, and you drop some comments and likes and subscribe, they will get back to you and give you the same. So this is an easy, quick way to build up some subscribers to your YouTube channel. Right here. These are genuine people that will connect with you. And most likely you guys here in the chat are even going to see your own channel in there. PB the Cool, Nate Dogg, Mike Rum, and some others I got in there. But just a quick FYI, you want to get some subscribers for your channel, it's that easy. Click on my channels tab, go through here, and make friends with these people. They will subscribe to your channel and get back with you. How easy is that? Too easy, right? Okay, let's get to the first topic. Let me check the chat here first. Yeah, let's grow, guys. You got it. Okay, what do I got going on here? Okay, that's the robocalls. This one I'm just going to talk about. Let me get a sip. I got this new Snapple. I thought it was pink lemonade, but it's watermelon pink lemonade. it, they don't, what they say, if the wheel ain't broke, don't fix it. It's okay, but I probably won't buy it again. I just like regular pink lemonade. There you go. Too easy. You got it, PB the Cool. You're in there. So, but if you're right here in the chat, you're not connected with PB the Cool. It's a genuine YouTuber, just like a lot of you people that are in here. Okay, electric cars. The reason I brought this up, I just got done filming not too long ago. I'm doing my final video for the car dealership browsing. It'll be part 3. I hit. I'm doing a video spoiler too. I went to the Volkswagen dealership, Cadillac, Lincoln, Jaguar. I even got a Bentley in there. And this Bentley, the price tag on it was $285,000. You're going to see it. I'll be dropping that video like Tuesday, Wednesday. Car dealership browsing part 3 is going to be my final car dealership browsing video for this year till, next summer rolls around. But what I wanted to get at is with electric cars, I was thinking about this because one of the ones I had in my previous video might have saw was that Chevy Bolt. I think it was around like 36,000. And electric cars are great in the aspect that we're becoming less dependent on fossil fuel, diesel and gasoline. I love that, okay? But I don't know how it is over in England, PB the Cool, but, here in America, we are, thank you, I appreciate it. We are so dependent when it comes to electricity that we still have, especially like in the state of California where Nate Dogg is, he could probably elaborate on this. They have scheduled brownouts, because a lot of our electric systems, okay, are still, a lot of places here in America, we're still using stuff that was built in the 1960s. And on top of that, I have to verify the number, okay, because it's just an estimate. But I did read before a couple times from different sources, excuse me, about half our electricity comes from burning coal still, okay? So one nice thing we've had from let's say the 1980s and before, we have more energy efficient products. Oh, yes, we do, Micrum. Yeah, that's for sure. We are in like a lot of major urban cities, but still in some rural areas, a lot of the power lines and the transformer stations are old stuff. But I'm going to tie this into electric cars, so stick and stay with me here. All right, everyone. Any rate, let's say we get 25%, let's say like 5 years from now, 25% of the automobiles that are being driven on our roads here in America are electric, okay? We won't have the capacity to meet the electricity demands to charge up all these vehicles. You start getting 25% of houses in your neighborhood where they are drawing electric to charge up these electric cars. We have to be able to meet that demand. And we can barely meet the demand in America now for what we got. But don't get me wrong with this, okay? I'm not opposed to the electric vehicles. I'm bringing up a legitimate concern. Now, you can look and say, hey, Ed, well, what the hell solution you going to give me? You're bringing up a problem. Well, my solution, in my opinion, my solution on this matter is the key is to be diversified, okay? So have the hybrid vehicles. Let's get with the E85 that burn the corn. They got the vehicles that run off the alcohols versus the gasoline, along with electric vehicles. So to me, yes, if you use a number, we just ask that you put just write in FOUR 101 if you can. So yeah, just a quick note on that. Oh, anyway, back to topic. I feel the best solution at this current time is that we stay diversified, and that's where we go, where we still have traditional gasoline vehicles, especially it's going to be a while before you can make an, let's say you take a big Chevy pickup truck or, a semi-rig truck. It's, hey, C. Miller, thank you for coming. Thank you, boss. Right now we're talking about electrical vehicles. The pros and cons is the topic. And what I feel, if any guys aren't connected with C. Miller TV, genuine YouTuber, please go ahead and connect with him. Just try not to use the word dance, anybody. We're going to be cooking, or you're going to cook, or just say I'm at your place. Just a quick note. At any rate, back to the topic here with electric vehicles. I feel the solution is us all being diversified in what we have out there. So we'll still have our gasoline and diesel vehicles, but along with that, we'll have a percentage that are electric. And we also have alternative fuel sources like that E85 and other fuel sources. But going towards trying to get, the vast majority of automobiles electric out there, it to me is not a good idea with the current state America is in and our dependency upon burning coal, as well as our infrastructure for electricity itself is outdated in many areas across America. And we would not be able to, thank you for the kind words, C. Miller, we would not be able to keep up with if we went towards, let's say, close to 50% or even 25 to 50% of the vehicles, if they were electric on the road, the current state America's in. So those are my thoughts with the electric vehicles. And if you guys, I'm curious to hear from you guys as well. Put in the chat here if you have any, an opinion on the electric vehicles, good, bad, or indifferent. Anything on that? Well, I'm going to take a sip of Snapple, see if any of you guys are interested. If not, I'll move on to the next topic. Oh, kind of indifferent, Microm? Yeah. Like I say, that might not be the best answer, but to me, that's the solution, is being diversified. And I'm not one that's all on board of trying to push more electric vehicles. It's good in a way, but then we can occur major problems if we start getting too many electric vehicles. Yeah, gas is, that's right, C. Miller. But I don't know if you heard the whole conversation I'm not opposed to electric vehicles, but I don't want too much because we're going to incur other major problems. We have to fix the current state of our infrastructure for electricity in America today. We're so dependent upon coal, and our electric systems, from the power lines to the transformer stations and whatnot, is so outdated. That's another topic, but I do agree with you. Oil and gas. Yeah, C. Miller brings up a quick point. I'll address it without getting too far off the topic. But in America, for example, we got involved with the Persian Gulf War, with the Iraq War. A lot of people say, oh, it wasn't over oil. Okay, there's two different sides with the Persian Gulf War, but I will make this point in analogy, okay? When the Rwanda genocide happened in 1994, why didn't the U.S. get involved? Okay, we had the Somali incident before, but a lot of times the United States and America won't get involved. I say a lot of times, and I'll make a point, it's not every time, if there's no natural resources at stake and they don't, they could care less, and that was a big reason we didn't get involved with Rwanda. And we're really, how should I say, we get too involved with the Middle East, but it's kind of like we're so dependent upon the oil that we do have to have an interest in a lot of things over in the Middle East. But yeah, that is true. You do make a good point there, C. Miller. Yep. Any rate, I don't want to go too far off on that topic. Robocalls. Let me get this. Here we go. This is from, let me just get this, ABC News. This is January 2020. Right here, I got this news article when I was thinking about this topic of robocalls. And where is it here? I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to get into, I'll read this here about a law last January that got passed through President Trump along with our Congress addressing this issue and the problem with the robocalls. Now, I don't know how it is over in England, people, cool, but like here in America, and I'm sure you guys, Mike Rum, C. Miller TV, Nate Dogg, if you're here, these robocalls have been driving me effing crazy, bro. Effing crazy. I got to rant for a second on my cell phone. Now, I don't answer these calls when it's basically a number that I don't know. It's not my contacts. I always let it go to voicemail, and it's a shame. The few big things is these tax scams. I've been getting these calls. The IRS. I'm not tax scams. The IRS scams. These BS car warranty calls. Soliciting for a car warranty, and there's a couple of them, other ones, but. Man, I am just completely fed up with these freaking robocalls. But I did notice, like this past couple months, I seldom get them now. I seldom get the robocalls. But gosh, for the past 2 years, man, even like up until, was it March or April? I mean, some days I'd have 5 or 6 different calls, and they were all freaking robocalls to the numbers I don't know, and they don't leave a voicemail. Yeah, that's true, Mike. Best thing, it don't answer. I do. I just hate the inconvenience because I have my work, my employer, and family and friends that contact me. So I'll leave my cell phone on, even if it's on vibrate. And it's me having to look at my cell phone and say, "Oh, is this work?" Or a family member calling me, and I'm looking at it like. And some number I don't know, another robocall. But when I get 6 or 8 of them in one freaking day, man, I want to pull my hair out. I'm sure you feel that way. But anyway, let me get into this news article real quick from ABC News last January about the new law with the robocalls that was signed and put into place from President Trump and our Congress. Anyway, here we go. Where is it here? Yeah, President Donald Trump has signed, along with Congress, a new law attacking the surge of illegal robocalls. The bipartisan legislation expanding power of the Federal Communications to deter spam calls and reinforce the responsibility of individual phone companies to protect their own customers. Praise the Lord, it's about time. They're making all that money off us from Verizon to AT&T and T-Mobile. It's about time they take some accountability on these stinking robocalls. Okay, let me get back. I'm starting to rant everybody again. Okay, with this legislation, phone companies will be required to give all consumers meaningful new protections against these calls. And Americans will finally get some relief from the ringing telephone. Okay, let me flip this over and read the rest of the news article here. However, while consumers may receive fewer spam calls in 2020, they won't disappear overnight entirely. All right, here we go. The Telephone Robocall Abuse Criminal Enforcement and Deterrence Act, or TRACE Act, I guess that's another term they're using for this law from the ABC News article. Anyway, increased fines on spam robocalls from $1,500 to as much as $10,000 per illegal call. Wow. Jack up that number some more and more. Anyway, it also requires phone companies to speed up their, where is it here? The tracing technologies to verify the incoming calls are legit or not legit before reaching the customers. So they're gonna get on these cell phone companies to start taking action, and saying, hey, it's your responsibility to keep this nonsense from going on, which is good. But what one says and what happens a lot of times are two different things. Okay, here we go. The key is requiring these phone companies to stop the calls before they reach the customer and do it at no additional charge, says a lady here from the Associated Press. Okay. While consumers can buy software like Umail to help weed out billions of robocalls that Americans collectively receive each month on their cell phones, this new legislation thrusts the responsibility on service providers to block these calls from ever reaching their customers. Oh my God, thank goodness. It's about freaking time. I'm telling you. Also requires the FCC and the service providers to develop a system which informs customers when they are receiving a spoofed call. When a caller ID is made to look like it's coming from the same area code, a well-known agency such as the International Revenue Service and others, the system, however, will not work from home phones. Okay. So basically, they're going to crack down on this spoofing call nonsense. And it used to be for years, they couldn't really get through a lot because it come up private, unblocked, or unknown caller. But I guess they got this software programs because a lot of these robocalls I get are area codes. And I live near Detroit, Michigan, and I work in Detroit, Michigan. And when I get them on my cell phone, they're local area codes. And it's one of these people, no offense, but it could be just one example over in India that's not even in America. And they're selling these third-party car warranties. That's a whole nother conversation. They're either scams or else they're just playing the middleman where you can go on Google and get yourself a stinking car warranty. But anyway, they're going to crack down on, oh, thank you for coming. They're going to crack down on these, and hold them responsible when these companies doing these and in these scammers using these robocalls and using local area code numbers to your cell phone to trick a lot of us into answering it, especially if we're expecting a call. But at any rate, it's about freaking time. Okay, I got a couple more notes in this news article. If you're just joining me, I'm talking about an ABC News article from January 2020 about a law and legislation going after these robocalls. Okay, here we go. Beyond robocalls, the law also directs the FCC to create new rules that will help protect subscribers from receiving unwanted text too. Nice, nice. Okay, faking caller ID numbers and placing automated telemarketing calls to customers without written permission is already illegal in the United States, but enforcing it in fines has come with major hurdles. Why the United States-based robocalls are easier to trace, many of these robocalls that Americans receive originate from overseas. And Consumer Reports says that those will likely continue without sufficient interruption. Oh, my goodness. A lot of them, by the way, like I say, were like these car warranties. A lot of them they found out are coming from India, so. But at any rate, anything else I have in here? Okay. Oh, this is interesting in the article before I wrap this up. The legislation comes after Americans' phones rang 5 billion times in the month of November 2019 alone from robocalls. Almost 2,000 calls per second. Wow. So this was 2 months before President Trump and our Congress passed this law in January. November 2019, average of 2,000 robocalls per second here in America. And that's like 5 billion times the phone rings. And in this news article, I'm not going to go too much further into it, but it talks about like some major hospitals that have had major interruptions in service with their telephones in the hospitals because these freaking robocalls. So anyway, it's about time we need to start cracking down, and the telephone companies need to take some responsibility and do this. These robocalls, they drive me crazy. Let me check the chat here. When a robocall, okay, Microm. Yeah, I know, Microm's right. Yeah, it's just most likely a scam. Yeah, PB the Cool. Check out C Miller TV if you can. Both C Miller TV, good friend of mine, genuine YouTuber. We'll help you grow for sure. Definitely. We are networking still. I know it says the morning show, not morning networking, but we are networking. My little interchange sign. We're networking. Yes, we are. You know what? Let me do this before I move on to this next topic about some major problems I have with this survey about the United States being ranked among the worst to raise a family. I'm going to do some channel drops here, everybody. Okay. And we got some people in here. Badoosh. All right. Yes. Oh, is that the Poppy show? Is that the Poppy show I see? Or it doesn't say Poppy show, but it says blog there. It looks like the Poppy show in there too. Welcome everybody. I'm going to get into our next topic about this survey here. America being ranked among the worst to raise a family, and I'm going to bring up some very big glaring problems. And I'm going to get into it, but I'm going to do a few channel drops here because we are networking as well. And if you want to comment on the recent topic of robo-calls, feel free. So get ready. I'm doing some channel drops here. We're going to be networking with each other. Please stay away from the word dance. It's being viewed, from what I'm informed, as similar to subscribe. So you're cooking or you're cooking at a place, or like C. Miller, you're kicking down the door. I'm at your place. So any rate, I'm just going to do some quick channel drops here in the chat window for everybody, and we're going to get into this survey from the New York Post. Okay. A second. Here we go. I'm just doing a little channel dropping because we are networking still here, everybody. Boom. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you guys haven't checked out, there's a video on the C. Miller TV YouTube channel. It's a lady who owns a business. Oh gosh, was it Country Cooking C. Miller? And she goes to McDonald's and she pulls these workers out that are getting paid pennies on the dollar. It's a great video. Or is that on your new channel, C. Miller? If you have it, I'll you know what? I'm going to drop that video as well as your channel, C. Miller, in the chat here. This video is just awesome. I actually shared it on my social media. Let me put this in here. Okay. All right. What else we got going on in here? Oh, Microm. Yeah, Microm and Nate Dogg. I'm going to get you some channel drops here. 1 second, guys, and then we're going to move on to our next topic. But part of my show here, we are networking, and I'm going to do my part as well. I got into it one time in a live before. The lady, she kept yelling at this one moderator, like, you got to drop these channels. And I made a comment to him like, well, it's part of your job too. And then, oh boy, she just blew her top. But hey, I'm going to do my part too. I'm not just going to sit back and tell everybody to do this or that. So I'm going to do my part here to do some channel drops. And everyone in the live here, I'm going to be doing a little watch party with your channels as well. I'm not doing a shout out video for the show today and trivia, but I'm going to be hooking you guys up with a little watch party. Oh, welcome, Prophet. The Prophet from South Africa. Thank you for coming. Let me get a channel drop here. One second. Okay, I'm just trying to get everybody a channel drop here in the chat window, and then we're going to get on to the next topic. All righty, let me get this in here. Poosh. I think I got to get Nate Dogg next. I don't think I got this YouTube user at SKS, number SKS. Let me get you. All right, so I'm going to try to get everybody in here. And as well as if you haven't had your channel drop, I have my moderators in here that'll do some drops as well. Okay, here we go. Channel drop coming up. We'll do some genuine networking with each other here on the show. Boom. Okay, I think I have to get Nate Dogg. I don't think I got Nate Dogg behind the camera. If you're still here, Nate Dogg, I'm going to get you a channel drop in here. Alrighty. Oh, here we go. Okay. Bear with me just a second, everybody. We're going to get the next topic here. I'm going to be just dropping some channels. Boom. Booyah. Okay. Okay, let me go in here. Oh, Noel, I'm sorry. I was dropping channels. I didn't even see it yet. Oh, thank you, Noel. Yes, thank you very much. And definitely connect. C. Miller's here, the Prophet from South Africa, as well as, some others with Nate Dogg behind the camera and Microm. A lot of great YouTube users in here. Let me get a channel drop here for Noel, a good friend of mine, genuine YouTuber. Okay, once I get this channel drop, we'll get into our next topic here. One more channel drop. I'm going to get in the, put in the chat room here. And boom, here we go. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Next topic here. Here we go. Let me get my Snapple. Okay. I'll drop the link. I have it down below here from the New York Post. Anyway, as I was looking through different stuff on the internet the other day, like news topics for the show, this caught my eye and had piqued my interest. So I looked into this from the New York Post, but now New York Post this was put out July 23rd, 2020. United States ranked among the worst countries to raise a family, study says. So this isn't the New York Post study. This is New York Post doing a news article on a study, and I'll get to that study and where it comes from and the problems with it. But here you go. Right here. Let me put this closer to the camera. It's a black and white because I printed this up at work. But that's from this study on the New York Post. Before I get into this, let me get the actual article and post it in here on the study from the New York Post. Okay, here we go. Okay, yep. Let me get this here. I think I can post the website link in the chat window. Copy. Let me try this. This should go through. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, I just posted the website link to the New York Post, what I'm going to be talking about. Okay, United States ranked among the worst countries to raise a family, a study says. Let me get into this here. And where are we here? Okay, so what they did is in this study, they took 35 countries that they picked and they evaluate them on from the cost of living to crime, healthcare, all these different issues they note in here in this study, and it's in the New York Post. And the study comes from, let me get the actual name here. I have it written down in this article. Hold on here. I'm just looking here through this. Or is it on the first part here? Oh, here it is. The study comes from research now. Get ready for this. A travel site. Archer and Lyric. And it's a lady who lives out in California, and her husband is from Australia. There wouldn't be any bias against America there now. Oh, no. And some problems with the study, it says here, the study with the countries, the 35 countries in this study, okay, and America's ranked 34. Only Mexico was behind us for being the worst place to raise a family. So the study leaves out countries such as Cuba, Venezuela, Honduras. It leaves out Iran and Yemen. So they're handpicking these different countries comparing to the U.S. And lo and behold, not one country from Africa. Not South Africa. So they they look at these different things like the crime rates, the health care, the cost of living and all that, and they select 35 out of 35 countries, and quote unquote America was ranked number 34. Here's another thing it said in the study. I have, where did I write that down? Do I have it? Dang it, I thought I wrote down the countries here, but Sweden was ranked in here as low crime rate, and it was also ranked, I'm trying to go through my notes. Anyway, in the top 10 countries to live and to raise a family, Sweden was ranked like the fourth or fifth best country, according to this travel site study that they did. The New York Post put it in their paper. Unfortunately, I found this out doing a Google search, and this is from June 22nd, 2020. BB the Cool would know Reuters. They're, I believe, UK. They're like the BBC. It's kind of glaring if you could see this right here. Here's the headline. Rape conviction rates rise 75% in Sweden after change in law. You got major problems with rape in Sweden, but yet Sweden is ranked way better than America. It's ranked fourth or fifth in this quote unquote study. Oh, okay, 30. You know what, Nate Dogg? Ask him about the rape that's going on in Sweden, and it gets into a little bit with their open border policies. They've had major problems where I don't care what country it is, I'm not going to get too much into this, but when someone comes in illegally into another country, you don't have information about that individual. So you have a lot of people that are well-intended, well-meaning people, but you also get a number of people that are criminals and you don't know who they are. So at any rate, in Sweden, the rape is way up, but yet it's much safer place in America, according to this study from this travel website, Arsher and Lyric. That's where the New York Post was talking about this. Where is it here? Oh, I also got this problem I noticed in their study that they had wrong. Let me flip this over. Oh, I do have it. I got so much paperwork here. Hold on, guys. Let me put this down here. And I'm going to read you what they ranked here, the top 10 countries to raise a family and live. I got it right here. But at any rate, one more point I want to make. If you click on that news article, it has in here, okay, it says, let me get it. The study noted that the United States is the only country that doesn't require employees to offer the pregnancy leave, which is the maternity. I'm sorry. I just had to get the word out here. Let me say this one more time. According to this study, it noted that the United States is the only country that doesn't require employers to offer maternity leave. Wow, that's interesting. So this you guys did this great study, and you're going to say the United States is the only one that not required to offer maternity leave. Now, I got this from Google. Let me bring this in. I got the glare from the lights here. Okay, you can see this better. Has anybody heard of FMLA, the Family Medical Leave Act that was passed under former President Bill Clinton? Now, granted, we do have problems, and we can make the FMLA a lot better, and employers are not required to pay, but they cannot threaten somebody with their job. They cannot be penalized. They have to give them so much time off of work. I believe it's, let me check on here. Let me flip this over. I think it's up to 12 weeks that someone can get off on a maternity leave. But according to the study, United States does not offer time off if someone's pregnant. I guess they don't know about FMLA. Here we go. FMLA, Family Medical Leave Act here in America, guarantees eligible employees up to 12 weeks of unpaid leave each year with no threat of job loss. Also requires employees covered by the law to maintain health benefits while they're off on maternity leave, and for eligible workers as well. Now, granted, there's problems with let me bring this in. There's problems with the FMLA. Don't get me wrong. I mean, this thing, you'd have to be like a CPA reading the damn tax code to go through this. But And it varies. Like where I work, I'm not getting into where I work though. They give, I believe it's up to 8 weeks of paid time off for maternity leave. On top of you can take more unpaid time off. But this study, where in the hell did you do your research? I could find this out going on Google about the Family Medical Leave Act, but yet America's the worst place to raise a family. Don't get me wrong. We got our problems here in America. I'm not going to be some ignorant Joe Blow and say America's the best place on earth and everyone else is in our dust. No. I'm not going to go that far. But when you handpick different countries and you leave out other countries and you want to, and then you have your information wrong about America being the worst place to live. Come on. Today, I'm just checking out the chat here. Okay, you'll be on a live stream tomorrow. In some countries as well, there is. Okay, yeah, that's true. Now, I will say this with the Family Medical Leave Act, just on this note concerning the study, it's not perfect. It does need to be changed. I don't give a damn if it's a Democrat or Republican. I'm not going to get into Trump and Obama. I'm not going to go that route. But yes, we do need to make major changes, just like the Affordable Health Care Act with the Family Medical Leave Act. Don't get me wrong. And that should only be 12 weeks off. It should be 12 paid weeks. Now, whether that money comes from the government, because sometimes that's very hard for a small business to do. Okay, I get that argument, but yeah, but just be as ignorant and stupid to say that they don't guarantee time off. They don't have to. It's like, well, maybe your husband from Australia didn't bother checking a few things out before he wrote all this crap. This is this study I posted the link in my chat. A travel website puts out a study about America being the 34th worst place out of 35 ranked countries to raise a family and live. And I'm just finding out problems with their study. See, but the problem with this I have too is there's a number of these news stories that come out in the mainstream media and Associated Press. And in the fine print, right at the bottom, study. But people will run with that like it's the spoken gospel and it's the truth. And then when you look into some of these studies, you're like, whoa, there's some glaring problems here. Any rate, before I move on to the next topic here, I wrote it down. I'm going to read you, according to this travel website, Lecture and Archer, I think it is, something like that the New York Post talked about. Here's the top 10 countries that supposedly are the best place to live and raise a family. Okay, number 1, they got Iceland. Number 2, Norway. Number 3, Sweden. Number 4, Finland. Number 5, Luxembourg. Number 6, Denmark. Number 7, Germany. Number 8, Austria. Number 9, Belgium. And number 10, the Czech Republic. And America was ranked 34 out of 35. They put Mexico at 35. Now, granted, I will say this because I always try to be fair. I take emotion out of it and feeling, okay? One huge problem we have in America, which they brought up, is the murder and the violence, from these public shootings to like major cities like Chicago, which, you're having 29 people shot in one weekend. We have major problems. Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna, that's a true fact. I'm not gonna argue that. That is a problem that are not in other countries. Although that would bring up another topic, I could touch on. It's sort of political, gun rights versus gun control. Countries that don't allow people to pretty much own guns, like Australia. Canada is very restringent on a gun ownership in Canada. But without getting into that topic, I'll just put this out there, and it's not that I'm right and you're wrong. This is just an opinion and a discussion. Is I will take as living in Detroit, Michigan, and being an American, I will take the problems that come with our constitutional rights before I'll give them up. And point in case was years ago, Fidel Castro was interviewed by Barbara Walters, and Fidel was making fun of and talking about I'll read the chat here in a second about how America has these problems with these riots and looting and murder and violence. Okay, you're right, Fidel. But here in America, we don't lock people up just because they give a political opinion. In Cuba, you have a freedom of speech, but you cannot speak out against the government. If you go in Cuba and you start speaking out against the Castro family, I think it's Raul Castro and another brother that's running Cuba now, you'll be a political prisoner, locked up, put in jail. So I'm just using this not to get too far into topic, but as a point is, yes, we have problems from our Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, to our first problem with the freedom of speech and the right to protest and whatnot. But I'll take the problems that come with that before I'll give them up. But anyway, that's my little rant and bringing up some problems with this study that was put out by this travel agency. It was in the New York Post about America being one of the worst places to live and raise a family. You know what? If you guys are joining me, I'll drop this link to the article here again one more time. Let me do the link. Now, this is the link from the New York Post about this article, America being one of the worst places to raise a family. I'm going to put it in here right now. There's the link if you want to take a look at it. And then when you get into the article, you'll see the name of this company that did the study. And when you click it on, it'll have all the 35 countries and what they base it off. So anyway, if that you're interested, there's the link. Let me go through the chat and see what you guys have to say about this. Yeah, I agree, PB the Cool. Violence is definitely a problem. I mean, that'd be a whole nother topic with gun rights versus gun control. I will say that I'll take the problems that come with our constitutional amendments before I give it up. But yeah, you are right. That is definitely a problem. Yeah, we do need, yep. The world, we are a family with love. Yes, much love there too. Friendly cooking. Oh, friendly cooking. Yes. You know what? Let me put your link in here. I haven't got your channel link here. Any more comments? Oh, okay. Yep. Nate Dogg's there too. Yep. The violence is definitely a major problem. Hold on here. I got one more channel drop for someone who just joined me, and we'll move on to the next topic here. We are networking. So if you see somebody in the chat room that you do not know, click on their channel, watch a video, and subscribe to their channel. Just do me one quick favor. Don't use the word dance or the word subscribe. You can say I'm cooking at your place, or I'm checking out your place right now. And that lets, each other know that you're channel. So genuine networking and connections with each other. I got one more channel drop for someone who just joined us here. Let me check the chat here before I move on. Yeah, if you guys want to say anything about the topic here of U.S. being ranked 34 out of 35 is one of the worst countries to raise a family, go ahead here. I'm going to get on the chat while we're on the topic. Yeah, Prophet. That's true. Now, Prophet, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you're in South Africa, if I'm not mistaken. That's one cool thing with YouTube. I make friends with, I have a lot of people from the Philippines, Jamaica, South Africa, Noel here. We have a good friend from Canada, but it's so cool with that diversity in different parts of America as well. But yeah, I love that with YouTube. Okay. Let me wrap this up here. We're going to move on to the next topic. Yeah. Okay. Cool. South Africa. All right. I had a trivia question, Prophet. I don't think you were on the live at the time, but oh, no, I haven't got to that trivia question yet, but it's something about a place in South Africa I have in one of my trivia questions. I will be doing trivia coming up again on when I do my next late night show. I have 2 games so far. I had elimination and the guess who trivia. So I'll be doing one of those coming up, but I'm going to hook you guys up here I'm getting the channels. When I'm done with the live, you stick and stay with me on the live. I'm going to have a little watch party on your channel. So that's what I'm going to be throwing out is my treat here for supporting me and coming on my live. Okay. Next up. Okay, everybody. Let's see what I have in my outline. Next topic, I should say. All right. Oh, this is an interesting one. Won't be too long of a topic. This is again from the New York Post when I was on there yesterday. Data shows a surge in online swingers in New York City amongst the COVID-19 outbreak. You know, this is from July 24th, 2020. Let me put this up close so you can see it here. And I'll drop I don't think I had the link saved here, but it was in the New York Post. Any rate. So, I'll read this before I give my opinion on this here. Okay. The COVID-19 pandemic has sparked a surge in online swingers across the country, with New York City topping the list, according to this report. Threesome dating app 3Fun reportedly steadily upticked in the number of messages sent between its 721,000 plus active users since lockdown began in March. Social distancing makes offline meetings tough. That means most open-minded people, oh Lord, are trying to meet new friends online during the pandemic, the spokeswoman said. Where is this here? And the best place to nail down, the Big Apple, where 22,874 residents are active on the app. So just in New York City alone, it's almost 23,000 people on the Swingers app, and they're picking up more people. So at any rate, I guess from this news article, let me just bring this in closer. Let me try to look here where the light's not glaring it. You see the one lady and the two guys. And I'll give my opinion on here. You know, this is disturbing to me. Very, very disturbing. Not so much, I'm not holier than thou about people engaged in the swing dating thing and the swingers, but what I find very disturbing with this is that we have a COVID-19 virus outbreak. I mean, it's no big secret. This is global here, okay? Unless maybe you're living in Antarctica. And especially New York City. New York City's hit the worst right there with my own city of Detroit with the COVID-19 cases. And these people are out swinging. And basically swinging is two girls, one guy, or two guys and one girl, or it's two couples getting together and they're dating. And we got a COVID-19 crisis going on, and you're engaged in this behavior, and it's going up. Have you guys been watching the news and reading the papers? Are you aware of what in the world is going on right now? I saw this. I'm about to pull my hair out of my head. Any rate, any thoughts on this? Data shows surge of online swingers in New York City amongst the COVID-19 crisis. Nothing against New York City or to pick on them, but it's just this going on. What in the world are you thinking? Yeah, people are cool. I'm with you. I'm totally with you. There's just a number of things related to this. Like, for example, I love bowling. I am a huge bowler. I love to bowl. I haven't bowled since last February. Why? Even though some of the bowling alleys are open towards me, it's not a need, it's a want. And two, bowling, I've read an article right now, bowling centers or bowling alleys, whatever you want to call them, it's not a safe place to be with this virus outbreak. And to me, it's just, okay, I have to make a sacrifice and go. Let alone for people to be swinging during this. Oh, Lord. Let me get a drink. We'll move on to our next topic. I'm going to check the chat. I appreciate everybody. Okay. What do we got going on here? Okay. Big article. All right. This is the big news article I'm going to get into here. All right. We all know about what happened with the Floyd incident. It's sickening. That's just my opinion of it. But in Minneapolis, armed residents set up patrols amidst the calls to defund the police. I'll get into this article. Let me get it just so you can see it right here. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Okay. What was this date? It was just recently. Okay. July 25th, 2020 from the Wall Street Journal about what's going to be happening here as well as possibly happening in Minneapolis. Now, real quick, I got 8 people in here. I'm going to go over the article. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on it. It does not mean that I am right or I'm correct, okay? It's just my thoughts and opinions on this article. We're going to discuss it, talk about it. So don't get angered. Don't get upset if I say something you don't agree with, all right? No problem. And I'm going to do the same. If you put something in the chat window, I'll talk about it, but I'm not going to get personal. I'm not going to get emotional. I'm not going to get angry, upset because we have a difference of opinion. A lot of times on social issues, politics, and religion, that's a big problem. Okay, so let's just keep it in mind. We'll have the discussion. We'll talk about this because this is interesting. Okay, let's get into this here. In Minneapolis, armed residents set up patrols amid calls to defund police. Okay. Minneapolis residents in some areas still recovering from the rioting and unrest are forming community watch and security groups, some bearing firearms to fight the surge in crime in the wake of the George Floyd killing in May of 2020. At least one neighborhood has put up a barricades to keep outsiders out, to who comes and goes through there. All right. The move comes as the city council on Friday approved its permanent cuts to the police budget amid calls to defund the police department and generally lower tax revenue due to the economic strain caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The $193 million police budget will be cut by $10 million, including making permanent and some temporary spending. 1 second, give me a chance to flip this over, okay? All right, here we go. Spending measures, including hiring freeze put in place in June of 2020. Around $1 million from the police budget is being shifted to a program called Cure Violence that tries to prevent things such as shootings and other problems. Shootings and other problems in the neighborhoods and community engagement. All right. The council, meaning the Minneapolis City Council, had initially backed the idea of supporting community watch groups with money for things like T-shirts, walkie-talkies, and training, but that did not end up in the final budget. Okay, shooting incidents in Minneapolis in May, June, and July. Here's a little bar graph. I'll put it close there. You could just see how much it spiked. Shooting incidents. Now, this isn't particularly police shooting incidents. These are just shooting incidents in Minneapolis that have spiked up. Now, this is from the Wall Street Journal, okay? We're not trying to create an armed force to replace the police department, says this Graham Flunkner from the city council, or he's an aide to the city council. It is proposed shifting funds supporting community watch groups. We're trying to support groups that are out there. Okay, let me read the rest of this article and we'll get into my opinion and we'll talk about it. The council earlier approved a proposal that would end up on the November ballot to replace the police department with a new Department of Community Safety and Violence Prevention next May. Many details of this proposed new agency remain to be worked out, such as whether it would have armed criminal justice component. Well, that's something I'll talk about, my opinion. Police say crime has surged in months since the Mr. Floyd's killing in 25th of May 2020, in which now The fired officer captured on video, blah, 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 may come down here. Okay. I don't want to get into the whole Floyd incident. We know what happened and is very tragic and it's just sickening. As riots played out across the city in late May and early June, a group of black gun owners responded to the call from a local NAACP and patrolled mostly African-American West Broadway business district for 10 nights, keeping the area free from looting and arson without firing a shot, says Jamal Jackson, if I'm saying the name correctly. Anyway, a leader of the group called the Minneapolis Freedom Fighters, which also advocated for black gun ownership. Okay, let me bring up a few thoughts I have here on this. So basically, Minneapolis is going to be defunding their police department, the city of Minneapolis, and they're calling for getting rid of it from this news article. But before I get my opinion, let me post this in the chat here. So if you're interested, this is from the Wall Street Journal. Let me come over here. Make sure I get the right one here. Okay, I got it right here. Yep. Copy. All right, I'm going to put the article here we're talking about from the Wall Street Journal. I'm going to post right in the chat here for everybody if you want to take a look at it. Okay, here's some concerns I have, okay, when it comes to defunding the Minneapolis Police Department and possibly getting rid of them. Okay, here. I want to make this point, and we'll talk about it. But listen, the only thing that stands between a civil society and anarchy is the law enforcement. Now, some people will say the military, but the problem is the military, only a small percentage of the military is actually trained and suited for doing police work. You know, someone who's in the infantry, they're not there to police. But that's my point. That's the only thing that stands between a civil society and anarchy are the police. I mean, I don't want to be back to pre-Civil War days, of which you probably have heard the Westerns. They nicknamed it the Wild, Wild West. When you were lucky if some of these towns out in New Mexico or Arizona, you know, when these territories are first being settled, if there was a local marshal or a sheriff around. So that's a big concern before and I'm referring to as far as scrapping a police department and going to some neighborhood watch group. Okay. I did mention community engagement. All right. Now, community policing is just as important is having enough police officers, okay? The problem, this is what I saw, all right, is that community policing has just went down the toilet, all right? With this Floyd incident in most major urban cities. It's going to take years of repair. Oh, thank you for coming. Yeah, I'll get into Jake Paul in just a second. Okay, so yeah, you want the community engagement, okay? And the community and policing, which law enforcement, they found that out after the 1992 LA riots of Rodney King. What happened to Rodney King is this tough approach on crime is not the most effective. You got to have the community engagement. You're policing for the community. You're not policing the community. But after this Floyd incident, community policing just went down the toilet in most major urban cities, and it's going to take several years of work again to build that trust up in the community policing after the Floyd incident. Where is it here? Okay, now here's some concerns I have with this, all right? If this were to happen and you scrap pretty much the whole police department and you put out this, what the city council of Minneapolis is calling for, here's a major problem you're going to have, all right? Are these people educated when it comes to criminal justice and law? You know, you have some neighborhood group and they're going to be enforcing, doing the work that police do. Think about this. You are going to have a major problem in the courts, all right? So you get someone out there and they're not well versed when it comes to law or criminal justice, you're going to have them go arrest somebody, and how's that going to show up to court? You know, so I'm not too big on just scrapping a whole police department entirely. Now, you'll be saying, okay, I'm bringing up these problems and issues. Do I have a possible solution? Yes, I do. I have a possible solution. So you 5 people here, you're in for a treat. And it's not being talked about on the stinking news media or the Associated Press. The problem to me, okay, lies in we have to address the issue. We're going too far off here. The issue is addressing the small percentage in the law enforcement community that are bad and bringing change. Okay. Now, how do we go about this? Now, I'm not a police officer. I do have a criminal justice degree and I'm in a similar field. That's all. I'm going to leave it at that. But here's a solution to a problem we have with policing in America. And this is a bad idea, in my opinion, what's happening in Minneapolis for the most part, of defunding the police department, get rid of them. What you do is you got to have the community and the people as part of the process. Now, what I mean by this, okay, you have some cities have got this somewhat in place, but it's not right. You got to have civilian review boards that have an equal power along with the police departments, law enforcement police departments. So let's take this as example. We're talking Minneapolis. Keep the police department, don't defund it. But what you do, you make a change is you have a civilian review board, okay, that has 50% power along with the police department, and then the mayor and the city council can act on that. So, for example, what I'm getting at is, let's say I'm a Minneapolis resident, all right, and I feel I've been discriminated against because of my religion, all right? I'm just using this as an example. All right, I can go file a complaint, all right, with the police department. A lot of times it goes up that through the police department and their judge, jury, and executioner on that complaint, unless I get an attorney and file a lawsuit. But here's where you make the change, and you can really solve a lot of the problems here with what we have with the law enforcement today in America. Okay, what you do is you have a civilian review board. So anytime someone files a complaint with the police department, their local law enforcement agency, and it goes up through the police department, let's say the city of Minneapolis. If that individual, let's say me, okay, I feel I've been discriminated against because of my religion, I don't feel it's been resolved in a satisfactory manner. What I can do is, and you could charge a fee, let's say a $25 fee. I could pay a $25 fee, and I could put in a police complaint review. You go civilian review board, that I want my complaint taken to the civilian review board. So after it's gone through the police department, nothing has happened. I can pay $25, fill out a card, and say I want my complaint sent to the civilian review board. And what would happen is, the civilian review board and the chief of police, along with some other top level people, they would have to sign off on that complaint together jointly for it to be dismissed. If not, if they cannot come to an agreement, then my complaint would go to a court and be heard by a judge. See, but what you're doing now is you're involving the community in the process. You're bringing them in. So now, if there's problems like we've had, like with the George Floyd incident and some others, that the community is involved rather than scrapping the police department, is get the community involved in this process. So when you do have people that do not belong in law enforcement and doing bad and doing dirty, or you feel you've been a victim by law enforcement, thank you, Micrum, that not only you file that complaint and it's been heard by the police department, okay, and you feel it hasn't been taken care of to your satisfaction. So rather than go for the headache of getting a lawyer filing a lawsuit, you just simply go and say, okay, it went all the way up to the assistant chief of police, and he or she decided to do nothing. So now I'm going to pay a $25 fee, and I want this sent to the civilian review board. And if the civilian review board sides with me, and let's say I'm using this as an example, that I've been discriminated against because my religion, that they say, we want sufficient action. We want this officer disciplined, suspended. And let's say that the chief is adamant and says, you know what? We don't agree with you. We're not going to suspend that officer. We felt that he or she was justified in it. But the Civilian Review Board's got my complaint. And it's saying, well, we're siding with Ed here. We feel that he has been discriminated against because of his religion. And they can't come together and sign off on the complaint jointly. They have it dismissed. It gets, boom, sent right to a court and a bench trial, meaning, no jury. A judge will sit down there. Now, there's problems with everything in life, okay? There'll be some problems with this, all right? But at least this is a potential solution. So there'll be that accountability and you can get that community involvement. So when the people are out there and they're protesting and they're saying, get rid of the police, defund the police, blah, 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 say, you know what? We're going to be putting a civilian review board for the city of Minneapolis, whether it's Cleveland, Detroit, wherever. But you're going to have now the civilian population are going to be part of this process. But I always try to have a solution, and maybe this won't work, but at least it's something. It's better than what's going on. And like I say, this is just my opinion. I feel what's going on right now is a very bad knee-jerk reaction. We got a problem, yes, with the law enforcement in America today, and there's some problems that have to be addressed, okay? But I do find out a lot of the stuff I see, too, is the law enforcement are not in the wrong. Is somebody videotapes, for example, a certain portion of an incident, and then it runs on the mainstream media and the paper. And when you find out all the facts, you're like, okay, I see why the police officers had to use force and what happened. They didn't put that in the video. They didn't put that in the front part of the news article. But at any rate, let me get your thoughts on it. I know this is kind of a hot topic. I'm not saying I'm correct and you're wrong, or, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. It's just an opinion. We're having a discussion. I get a little worked up on this because it's like we're taking a knee-jerk reaction. We're missing what can, be done. Yes, Microm, you're right. It's like I say, here's my comment. You might have heard me, Microm. The only thing that stands between a civil society and anarchy is law enforcement. But that doesn't give them a free ticket not to hold law enforcement accountable for when they are in the wrong, okay? But yeah, I'm totally with you, Microm. Yeah, PB the Cool's with them too. I believe somebody, was that you, Microm? Yeah, oh yeah. Thanks, C. Miller. I appreciate you watching, but that's a potential solution. I think that is not being talked about. Is what you have to do to fix the problem with the law enforcement, which I see is about a 1% to 2% problem when you look at the total number of police throughout our country, which it's bad enough, that you have bad law enforcement officers in that 1-2% category. But a lot of times too, like I'll say, when I see and hear about some of these stuff through social media and news, and I look into it, it's like, well, the police weren't in the wrong, but sometimes they're. But getting back to my point, my solution, you have to get the civilians involved in the process more and keep it where it's not just the police that can dismiss a complaint in the courts itself. You got to get them involved. And the best involvement they got right now is dismal. Like in Detroit, they have some community board that meets with the chief of police. They got no power, no authority. But by making a civilian review board, they would have power. But it wouldn't be sole power, okay? It'd be a joint power in my solution. You got the police department, and there's a complaint that comes in, a problem, an issue. And you got over here the civilian review board, all right? So the civilian review board will not be up here to make a decision and have a police officer fired because they feel that a police officer did something wrong, all right? But the police department can't just dismiss a police officer if he or she was in the wrong. So if they do not agree and come together and sign off on a complaint or a problem or an issue, then it gets kicked up to the court. So it's a joint power you would have. Now, I do keep in mind, there are a lot of times people put in BS complaints to the police department where they were in the damn wrong. They were drinking and driving, or they committed a crime, and they can go ahead to a civilian review board. And a lot of times too, it doesn't mean a civilian review board would always take the side of that individual, because when they get all the facts from a police report and speaking to the chief of the police, and they go over, let's say, like 50 some complaints for the month, they might dismiss 47 of them and say, okay, well, yeah, he's upset about this or that, but after we know where the facts. But it's getting, and I'm going to wrap this up, it's getting the community involved in the process. And that's where Minneapolis is missing the ball. Just to have that knee-jerk reaction and let's defund them and stuff. And I'm very concerned with these neighborhood watch groups. I'll leave it at this. The tragic incident with Trayvon Martin, with the hoodie over him, and there was the Hispanic guy who went and chased him through the neighborhood and ended up shooting him. You know what he was working as? Neighborhood watch. He called 911, and 911 told him to cease and assist from chasing Trayvon Martin. The police are on the way. You have no damn authority to chase this guy down. Leave it alone. And he still went ahead and did it. But what my point is, and why I'm getting worked up, is the city of Minneapolis wants to activate these neighborhood watch type communities and just have that knee-jerk reaction getting rid of the police. Don't we learn from history? It's not all. Neighborhood watch should be observe and report, not take action. But I don't know. That's just me, agree or disagree. Let me check the chat on this and we'll move on to the next topic. Feel free, guys. I'm not saying them, like I said, just my opinion. It's not right or wrong or indifferent. Oh, okay. Yeah. Zimmerman. Yep. Zimmerman. Yeah. He got in some big trouble too after this whole incident. I don't want to get into all the particulars on. I'm bringing that up as in the point was Zimmerman was a neighborhood watch, guys, and it's very concerning when Minneapolis wants to say, let's scrap pretty much all the police and get neighborhood watch in there. Whoa, we got to think about this for a second. But that would be my potential solution, is more civilian involvement in the process of law enforcement, and have that civilian review boards. Homage song for Michael. Okay. Oh, thank you for coming. Oh, Barrett Fitness. Let me drop your channel. I'm sorry, I was caught up in this topic here about Minneapolis. Let me do a quick channel drop here. We are networking. So if you see somebody in the chat that you don't know, subscribe to their channel, watch a video or two of those. I mean, even if you don't do it now, and let's get some genuine support. I got another really sweet lady. I watch her channel here a lot. I mean, she has great information on health and fitness. Copy. Let me put you in here. Channel drop, and we'll move on to our next topic here. If anybody wants to talk about that or give their opinion, feel free here in the chat. I'm checking the window on that topic here for the morning show. I'm getting the next topic. I'm just getting wetting the whistle here by Snapple. I think we got some fun topics coming up here. We went over the survey, the study from the travel agency about the United States being ranked among the worst to raise a family, and then about this topic with Minneapolis. Okay. Oh, here's something I thought about earlier this week. I wanted to bring up. My last live, I talked about misleading advertising, and I was doing some thinking on that as I'm thinking of different topics. This one's going to be on celebrity endorsements. I got a little, sort of a little rant. I want to talk about it and see what you guys think too. And so, at any rate, with the celebrity endorsements here, I find most of them similar to the misleading advertisement. Not all, okay, don't get me wrong, but most celebrity endorsements are just flat out disingenuous. It's just a way, it's just a quick, easy way to to make a cash grab and push a product for a company, these celebrities. And I'm going to give you a couple examples here of disingenuous celebrity endorsements, and then I'll give an example of a genuine one, okay? Back in the 1980s, this is one that came to mind. Now, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure everybody's heard of that TV show MASH about the Korean War, and it was a comedy show, and Alden Alda played Hawkeye. But back in the late 1980s, this character, I believe he's still alive today, Alden Alda, he did all kinds of TV commercials for IBM computers, and he was pushing them like crazy. They're on YouTube. And I remember reading an article in the early 90s, or late 80s it was, Alden Alda got caught. He had at his office and in his house, he had Apple computers. But yet he was on TV talking about how, buy IBM so much better. But it's just, they're just doing it for the money and cash grab. So I always take the vast majority of the time with these celebrity endorsements, I take them with a grain of salt. That's one example. Here's another thing I got. This is funny. In Detroit, Michigan, we have a local sports station. It's 97.1 The Ticket. It's a local sports station, and it's pretty popular. It's an FM sports talk station. But at any rate, these two guys that do this afternoon show on the sports talk radio, they were pushing a radio ad for about 3 or 4 months for WeatherGuard windows. And so these two sports guys took it a step further. And they even said, oh, WeatherGuard are the best. I needed new windows in my house, and I called up WeatherGuard, Joe Blow at WeatherGuard Windows, and I had WeatherGuard windows in. They were reasonably priced. They're some of the best windows, WeatherGuard. So I'm already sensing BS here. Like, now he's taking it a step further with this radio ad he's doing for WeatherGuard windows and saying that he had them put in his own house. And I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. Lo and behold, about a month later, I catch him on the radio. And now it's another company advertising on their radio show, Magic Windows. Okay, this is Detroit area, so I don't know if you guys have heard of WeatherGuard Windows or Magic. At any rate, so he's advertising and pushing Magic Windows now. Then in his ad, again, he came out and said, yeah, I needed some new windows in the back of my house, and I got Magic Windows. What happened to the WeatherGuard windows you had put in your house? I thought that those were great windows, and that's what you needed in your house. But I'm just bringing this up as an example. It's not a rocket science that the vast majority of these celebrity endorsements are just disingenuous, phony. It's a quick cash grab. Now, some radio show hosts, they're not in a sense celebrity nationwide. They're kind of a celebrity locally in Detroit. When they go places, they'll say, hey, I know you. You're Carson Anderson, the two guys. You do the afternoon sports talk radio. But it's the point. Most of these endorsements, they're just disingenuous BS. Now, there are some exceptions of genuine endorsements, and I'll give you this as an example, and this one everyone will know. Michael Jordan with the Nike brand. Michael Jordan is been, I couldn't think of a celebrity that's more loyal and genuinely likes Nike. Well, maybe Tiger Woods, he's up there, but I do remember, I'm going back some years, the 1992 Summer Olympics, Reebok was like the official sponsor. And when they went up to get their medals, they had to put this windbreaker jacket over. And Michael Jordan said, no, I am paid way too much money and do everything for Nike. And it'd be very embarrassing. I wouldn't do that to my loyal sponsor, Nike, and wear a jacket with a Reebok logo and be put in some ad and that brought up. So Michael Jordan, when he went with the first dream team and they get the gold medal, I believe he took that jacket, but he placed something over the little, like this is Tommy Hilfiger shirt I got on, but let's say this is the jacket and it's got the Reebok logo. He covered it up when he went up to get the medal with the rest of the basketball team, the dream team. So that's more on the exception side. You have genuine endorsements from celebrities that believe in a product and they actually like the product. But the vast majority of these celebrity endorsements is very similar to the topic I spoke about the last show of misleading advertising. They're just disingenuous, and it's just a quick cash grab for these celebrities. You know, that's like one of my not one of them, but my favorite R&B singer, Toni Braxton. I love Toni Braxton. Her music, she's a genuine good person, raises money for autism. And that's fantastic what she does, Toni. But I found it very disingenuous and kind of phony now. All of a sudden, we had the COVID-19 outbreak, is like, Uncle Tom's hand soap. It's the greatest soap. I use this all the time. And she's pushing it and selling it. No, you have been using Uncle Tom's hand soap and dish soap all the time, Toni. Come on. You got to make some money because you can't do those concerts and tours, and a lot of things have changed because of COVID-19. And I still love you, Toni Braxton, but you're not fooling me with this BS endorsement of Uncle Tom's soap, just the same as a lot of these other celebrities. But ending this topic is, I find the vast majority of celebrity endorsements is disingenuous and just a bunch of nonsense. It's just a quick cash grab, especially doing the commercials. Any thoughts or comments on this topic here about celebrity endorsements being disingenuous, what you like and don't? Okay, yeah, people, cool. Yeah, she's my favorite R&B singer. I love her ballads. I have a lot of favorite female singers, but I was just using that as one example. What I found to be disingenuous, and just like I talked about with these two local Detroit radio sports talk people that were pushing. It was so funny because it's so hypocritical. They're pushing one type of window weather guard for like 3-4 months, and they took it a step further, saying the one guy, he had him put in his house, and then a month and a half later, Magic Window Company's advertising on the radio, and he says the same thing. He had magic windows put in his house. It's like, it's one thing to say these are great windows, buy it, get a discount, but when you take it and you're being disingenuous and lying. But at any rate, wrapping this up, it's just most of these celebrity endorsements are disingenuous, phony. They're quick cash grabs. Okay, let me get a sip of Snapple here, and 2 more topics we'll get into. Keanu West running for president. That I've heard about that. He's way above his head. He's way above his head. It's not going to happen. There was a rumor too that was going around, a lot of talk, for example, similar here in my state of Michigan. Maybe some of you have heard of Kid Rock. He talked about running for a senator for the state of Michigan, but when he found out what the job entails, Kid Rock, he would, even if he got the money and funding and try to do it, he would be, I'm sorry, not Kid Rock, Keanu West, which PB the Cool brought up, he would be sunk because he's been flip-flop back and forth. He's been supporter of President Trump, then he's had some criticism about him, and usually want to have a, anyway, I don't want to get too far into the politics of it, but yeah, Keanu West running for president, nah. That whole thing will, if he actually puts money forth and tries to get on ballots, that'll fall apart quick. But that's my thoughts on Keanu West running for president. Now, okay, we're gonna get into some fun conversation topics here. I think I got 2 more left. Favorite place to have breakfast, and then some general conversation. It won't be long when I'll wrap up the morning show, but I'd love to hear from you guys on this. My favorite place to have breakfast, and what I love to have breakfast, and I probably might be doing it, is the Coney Island. Now, I don't know if they have one where you guys all live, but a Coney Island's like a little type of restaurant. It's mostly during the afternoon and day, and you can get them in the morning. They sell Coney dogs, which are like smaller hot dogs. Oh, the cafe. Okay, cool. That cafe is similar to like a Coney Island, but my favorite breakfast I love getting is they call them the breakfast specials at the Coney Islands, but is scrambled eggs, bacon, hash browns, and toast, and a little bit of hot sauce on my scrambled eggs. But okay, or hotel PB, awesome. But that's my favorite place I like to go and get my breakfast is the Coney Island. And yeah, I like pancakes and waffles, but it's not my favorite thing. Like I say, my favorite breakfast, scrambled eggs, hash browns, bacon, and toast. And sometimes if I'll switch it up, I'll get sausage instead of bacon. And I love rye bread, and I put a little bit of apple or mixed berry jam on it. But that's my favorite type of breakfast is at the Coney Island and what I like to get there. So I'm just curious what you guys, not only your favorite place to have a breakfast, but what's your favorite type of breakfast? Is it Belgian waffles, or is it like me, the scrambled eggs, hash browns, and bacon? Because this is the morning show. So, hey, let's talk some breakfast, huh? uh, The cafe is my favorite. Hey, PB the Cool, what the cafe in or the hotel having breakfast? Now you're over in England. Okay, you answered my thing. Cereal, was that cereal bread? Cereal breaded. So is that PB the Cool? Just because I'm over here in America, is that like you like cereal is your favorite type of breakfast to have, or is this something different? The cereal bread. Now I do like oatmeal's not bad, but I love grits. I got that when I went in the army, having grits for breakfast. I love is one of my favorites is grits. Oh, cereal and bread. Okay, cool, cool. Just curious, PB Cool. Uh I'll say this first. My favorite cereals are, it's not my favorite breakfast, but I do like cereal from time to time. Oh, and an egg sometimes. Okay. I don't like eggs over easy. I did a video where I swallowed a raw egg, big deal. But I scrambled eggs with some hot sauce is my favorite. With cereal, PB, my favorite cereal is I have a few different ones. I love Special K. I'm not too big on the Frosted Flakes. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a good one. I don't know if it's General Mills and some of those ones they have over in England. Oh, okay. Yeah, oatmeal. Yeah, omelet. I'm sorry, I thought I said oatmeal. I got my sunglasses on. Omelet. The only omelets I like, PB, in is a meat omelet, like with a little bit of bacon and some ham chopped up in it. But even then, I don't like that crap in my scrambled eggs. If I want some bacon or sausage, I want to eat it with my eggs. Where, I take a good a good helping of scrambled eggs and eat it with some hot sauce. And once I'm done with that, I'll have some bacon with it. But yeah, I'm not the biggest, and especially a lot of those omelets are made with all the onions and crap in it. Yeah, I'm not big on omelets either. But okay, that's cool. Scrambled eggs, yeah. Scrambled are my favorite, hot and fresh. Like I say at the Coney Island, I'll get those scrambled eggs and excuse me, just getting a sip. Yeah, they are my favorite. Oh, thanks, Jovi. Let me put you in here. But yeah, I like scrambled eggs with hot sauce. I don't get too hot like the Tabasco. Usually like that Frank's Red Hot, and I just put a little bit in there, just like a little bit of kick to the scrambled eggs when it comes to breakfast. Let me get a link drop here, Jovi. Copy. I'm gonna put you in here. I got one more link drop here. We're doing some networking this morning too, Jovi. So if you see anybody in here you don't know, definitely check out their YouTube channel and they will do the same. Copy, put you in here. Oh, you like boiled eggs. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, like hard-boiled eggs. Okay. I got you. Let me get PB the Cool. I'm just putting your channels in here so you can network with each other here real quick again. Jovi, I got a newcomer just into the chat here. Alrighty. because yeah, we're not morning networking show, but we are definitely networking. Whether I do a late show or morning show, we definitely want to help each other out and build up the channels. And I'm going to try to, do my part. I'm going to check out your channels as well, and then get you guys some channel drops in here. Let me get Nate Dogg back in here. Bada, bada, bada. Oh, hold on. All right. One second. I'm just pulling up some of your channels to drop. Channel. What in the world? Why isn't it? Oh, I did something. Oh, yeah. Where is the... Hold on, Nate Dogg. I'll get you in here. I have to do a little cut and paste. I'm getting a channel drop here for Nate Dogg. Copy. I got you in there, PB the Cool channel drop. So yeah, these channel drops, if you're not subscribed to each other, hit on the channel drop and watch a video, at least one video in full. Subscribe to their channel, and believe me, these are genuine networkers in the chat here, and they will return the favor. Okay, here we go. Pow. Okay, there we go. I think I got everybody. Okay, 4 back in here. Yeah, so you like the hard-boiled eggs. Okay. I probably have to say my worst when it comes to eggs. I've done, like, when I used to work out a lot, is protein, and I did it in that Rocky movie challenge video. I swallowed a raw egg, but I'm not big on in the morning. My dad loves those is hard-boiled eggs. You'll put a little salt and pepper where it's a yellow oak in the middle. The yellow, not oak, but yolk. The egg yolk, the yellow part's in the middle, and you have the white round part. I like the scrambled eggs. As far as favorite breakfasts, we'll get ready here in just a little bit. Okay. I don't think I have much else on tap than just what's left here, some general conversation. Like I say, I will be doing the morning show here once in a while. My work schedule fluctuates, so, and then too, I like to try to offer it because I have had some people that say, "Hey, I watched your live. It's just too bad you're on so way late at night, or I'm not up at that time." So this way, I want to try to, especially a lot of my loyal subscribers, and as well as I'm subscribed to you, is give other people a chance to say, "Hey, come on in. I'm going to do a morning show too." So I'll be mixing it up and doing some morning shows, and as well as late night shows. I'm more of a night owl. Yeah, I'm more of a night owl. Joe Vi, be sure to check out PB the Cool, subscribe to his channel, watch at least one of his videos in full, drop a like and a comment, let your presence be known there. Believe me, PB is a genuine YouTuber. He will show the same love. Getting back is, I'm more of as I was talking about this earlier, but I am more of a night owl, where I will be doing more of the shows will be the late night shows. Over here where I'm in America, I'll be starting 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when I usually do my late night show. Oh, no problem. Life of Nia, I'll get to you in a second. As far as I'm gonna get you a channel drop, and then I'll let you know what's going on here. Why I didn't get advance notice out, but with my channel and doing my lives, is I'm going to be doing the late show. So when most people are off from doing their lives, I'm going to come on and mostly do my late shows, and I'm going to be doing, trivia. And I know it's a fun, popular thing, but once in a while, I'm going to be doing some morning shows. Unfortunately, this was kind of last minute. And as I mentioned earlier, my intro is, I'm not at 1,000 subscribers yet where I have that option available to do that post notification and put it out there and say, "Hey, My next live stream is going to be at 8:30, 9:30 in the morning. It'll be a morning show. Um, I will try to do those channel news updates when I know well ahead of time and tell you, I'm going to be doing a show coming up, but I'm not too far off where I'll be able to do those posts and put it out, when I do when my show time is. But wrapping this up, I will be doing some morning shows now from time to time. Primarily, though, I will be doing the late night um, shows. Right now, before I wrap up, I'm just doing some general conversation. If does anybody have a question or anything they might want to talk about here? Oh, and definitely network with each other. Let me get a channel drop in here. Life of Nia 6. Hold on. Let me get you a channel drop. Okay. A second. Let me get your channel in here. Paste this. Okay. Boom. Okay. Here we go. What's your favorite of something, Jovi? Okay. What's your favorite of something? Oh, okay. Okay. Favorite artist. My favorite. Well, I have a number of different favorite like musical artists. My favorite female musical artist, as I just mentioned a little while ago, was Toni Braxton. And Whitney Houston, I probably put there at a second. Whitney Houston was much more overall talented, but I'm just saying favorite and what I like. Okay, was Toni in those ballads from like "Unbreak My Heart," Another Sad Love Song, "Love Should Have Brought You Home," "Best Friend" song on her first record. Oh yeah, I love Toni. I saw her twice, by the way, at Shane Park in Detroit, Michigan, and the second time was a cool concert. She brought Babyface out with her. Now, for male artists, wow, I like a little bit of the country music from the 1980s. I hate the country music today. I think it's garbage. But George Strait had a really great voice. Rock and roll. The bands, Jake Giles is one of my favorite bands. They did that song Centerfold and Journey. Oh man, they are terrific. Single artists, Michael Jackson's one of the greatest in his right, but I tend to favor Prince. Prince was so versatile in his music from his early stuff to old stuff. That's one of my favorites. My only favorite country singer is Tennessee Whiskey, and that's gonna stay the only. Okay. Yeah, I tend to like when it comes to country music, the stuff from the 1980s. For example, Randy Travis. He's in ill health now, but he was been on American Idol and stuff. Great singer, Randy Travis, but he was more again 1980s. And George Strait to me is one of the greatest. Garth Brooks, he's one of the greats, but there's only a few songs I like by Garth Brooks, and then I'm not the biggest fan of him when it comes to country. But yeah, I'd have to say for artist wise, I'd probably say one of my favorite artists. It's a musical artist with singing like male musical artist. It was solo artist Prince and Phil Collins. Man, I love a lot of Phil Collins. Has some cool stuff from. He's another great one, and I'm always going back. Was John Mellencamp, or they once in a while they called him John Cougar Mellencamp. He's got some good stuff, and in bands like I say, Journey and Jake Giles band are cut my favorites. I like a few things by that Drake, current day stuff. And then there's some stuff by Drake I don't care for because some of his music to me is more just the beat going, and then it's like he'll sing so many lyrics and they just repeat it. But there's a couple cool things by him. Yeah, Tupac. Oh, I like a lot of his stuff. One of the great R&B artists in his own right. Oh gosh, yeah, without question, Tupac. And yeah, yeah. It was a shame what happened to Tupac and with Biggie Smalls, but a definite talent in his own right. Wow. Um, yeah, it was just a shame we lost him when he did. Tupac there. Yeah. What I was thinking of something else here. With the musical art. Oh, with Tony Braxton. When I saw her, um, she the second time in Detroit, she came out to do a concert because she was running that Braxton's reality show, and so she was picking up popularity again. Not as big as in the '90s. She came out with Babyface, that Babyface Edmonds. And what I loved was, oh, that's probably the best group too. I'm going to get to it in a second. I totally forgot. My bad. But anyway, Babyface came out and he started doing songs by Boys to Men. Yeah, yeah. TLC, another good one. Whitney Houston, I feel, is probably the most talented singer ever. I put her above Michael Jackson away. Michael Jackson's probably better in the right of the dancing and the choreography and what he did for the business. And yeah, he had some marquee songs too, but Whitney's voice was just in her heyday. She blew everybody away. Um, but anyway, I almost forgot. We're talking like favorite musical artists and groups. I would say I'm definitely saying the best musical group, a talented vocal music group, Boys to Men. That's it. Done. They're I'm talking group. Man, I mean, what they were able to do together, and some of them Boys to Men song, The Water Runs Dry. That was a favorite one of mine. And then End of the Road. And then they had that cool song, but it was the lyrics and the meaning of the song is about losing somebody. They did Boys to Men, that song they did with Mariah Carey. It was they teamed up, and then it showed them in the studio together having a fun time singing it. But it's more of like a funeral type song. Yeah, Boys to Men was just phenomenal, and how they came together with their vocals, and they figured it out, man. And like they have the high pitch guy here with a certain part of the lyric of the song, and the lower pitch guy would come in, and it just blended together so terrific. It was just unbelievable what Boys to Men. Oh, New Edition. Okay, yep. But I would probably say the best vocal group ever would have to be. I would give it to Boys to Men. Music. Some of my other favorite musical groups, definitely. I'm more classic rock guy, but Jake Isles band and Journey. And Journey, to me, they had probably. I did talk about this in a past late show, the best songs ever. And I put down the best song ever by a rock and roll band, in my opinion, it's just an opinion, was the song Don't Stop Believing by Journey. It's such a marquee, cool song. But yeah, when it comes to musical artists, for sure. Mm, yep. Oh, I got to stretch my back here before I wrap it up. Is there anything else somebody wanted to talk about or has a question for me? Or, by the way, I mentioned before too, I'm not an Elvis Presley fan. I do like uh yeah, what's funny with Elvis Presley, my mom actually likes Elvis. Elvis had some big songs, in his day, but it's just that genre of music I'm not the biggest, but like he did a cool song Suspicious Minds, but Dwight Yoakam, a country music singer, redid it and did a much better version of it. Um yeah, Elvis was big because the rock and roll at that time in the 50s was not this senior citizens, adults per se. They didn't want this younger generation of rock and roll. So Elvis played a critical role in music, kind of like how Michael Jackson did, is one example with the dance. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, and of some of the Elvis music. Mm-hmm. As I was saying before, I forget, you guys, if anybody wants a question for me or anybody has a question for me or wants to tell me something, I do have a specific email address again for my YouTube channel. If you go on my YouTube homepage, it's on the About tab. It's simple as this: infospot411@yahoo.com. That's infospot411@yahoo.com. So all you'd have to do, you want to send me a question or you got a suggestion for a topic on a future show, I welcome it. Even if you want to call me an idiot or a jerk, you're upset about something, I have an opinion or a video, hit me up at infospot411@yahoo.com. Yeah, you don't have to have Yahoo though. Like if let's say you have a Gmail address, PB to cool, let's say you use Gmail, whatever email address you have, when you just put like an email out, it's who you send it to, you can put, infospot401@yahoo.com. So like, let's say your Gmail address is pbtocool2020@gmail.com. You could type out that email. Let's say you have a suggestion for one of my future shows, and you just put, when it says, send to, yeah, if you have Gmail, yep. When you send out an email through Gmail, all you have to do when you the send and receive, the to and from, just put in my email address, the infospot411@yahoo.com, and it'll all, and I respond back to you. It'll go right to your Gmail account. You can do that. You don't have to have Yahoo to email me. So whether you got, let's say, a Comcast email address or a Gmail, you can email me. One sec. Video spoiler. Video spoiler real quick before I wrap this up. I did film, I mentioned this earlier when I started my intro, but anyway, it'll be coming up probably between Monday and Wednesday. I did my final video of car dealership browsing, and I'm just finishing the editing on it. But anyway, it's going to be car dealership browsing part 3. And I went to the dealerships that I didn't get to in the first 2. 1 second, I got to change my light here. I have this light over here. It runs off of batteries on my tripod, and this thing's good for about an hour and a half when it's on full power. So let me put this in here. You'll see the brightness come again. There we go. Okay, here. Awesome. I'm back. Anyway, as you'll see, it's bright again. I have a tripod with one of those like flat LED lights. It has a whole bunch of them in there. And hold on. Here's my battery. These batteries are, when it's on full blast, it's really, really bright, but I get about an hour and a half out of them, and I got 3 of them. And it comes in handy when I do shoot some of my videos too, when I'm at my friend's house or if I do them in my own place. Oh, back on topic real quick, the video spoiler. So I went to the car dealerships that I didn't get to in the first 2 videos. So the video car dealership browsing part 3, I go to a Cadillac dealership, Lincoln, Volkswagen, Jaguar, even a Bentley dealership. I show you a Bentley that sells for $285,000. Who else did I get? Oh, Acura. I think they're owned by Honda, the Acura dealership. I was there. Infinity. Yeah, I got a couple SUVs at this Infinity dealership. And Volvo. I went to Volvo. I got a car and some SUVs from Volvo. And Mitsubishi. Yeah, Mitsubishi. But I was going to go to a Mercedes-Benz dealership. It was further out. And what ended up happening was I had clouds come in about an hour after I started filming this car dealership browsing part 3. And man, these clouds were just nasty. I started having rain come in. The last part of the video, you'll see and hear all the rain as I'm shooting. So unfortunately, I didn't get to Mercedes-Benz, but I pretty much got all the different dealerships. So yeah, check it out if you can. I'll be posting it in the next few days here, but that'll be my next video. A video spoiler will be car dealership browsing part 3. And this will be the final one for the year. I just try to get the ones I didn't get. So car dealership browsing, I'm not going to do any of that probably till like next June of next year when new models come out. I pretty much covered them all with the 3. So anybody else have anything else they want to talk about? Or if not, I'll be wrapping this up. I'm sorry, Life of Nia, again, that I didn't get a advance notice out. This was something I decided last night, and then I didn't get a post or like a channel news update out. But I'll try to do that more often and do like a quick channel news update. Or if I catch you guys on lives, I'll say, hey, I'll be doing the late night show coming up, or I'll do a morning show. And again, I'm mostly going to be doing the late night shows, but from time to time, I'll do a morning show. So, okay, well, I'm pretty much talked out, and I tell you, after the breakfast conversation, I'm hungry because I'm going to go get some breakfast here shortly. With that being said, I want to especially thank everybody for coming in here. I'm going to, later when I go on YouTube, I'm going to hit up I'm going to hit your channels up here, you guys who came in, and I'm going to do a little watch party is my way of saying thanks for coming on my live. As I like to say in my videos and most of my lives before I end it, stay safe and enjoy life, everybody. Thank you for coming. Truly appreciate it.